Hey Blake, how you going? Go here 2013. I'm just setting up the paper, man. Depends how many of us are online. I'm actually surprisingly buggered as hell. Is it? Might just be you, Blake, today. It's been a... Oh, is anybody else on? There is OneNote. Hey, Nishat. Just checking my stream. Why is it not showing up? Come on, man. What's happening here? Yeah, this I'm trying to open up this exam paper because it's quite a good one. But well, I think enough practice, Vansh, you'll be all right. Sorry, I'm just waiting for my stream to kick in. I'll just restart my tablet actually. So we're going to be doing complex numbers, one of these mock exam papers that I got my hands on. It's an old one, but I've particularly asked for permission to actually do this. So some of the questions they're like tough, man. So I think I feel that these questions are the ones that if you get the hang of these questions, you're pretty much solid with getting that high in the 19s and 20s. Hey, Jake Rowe. I think I'll just spend maybe time doing one question, hopefully. If we can do the paper, it'll be amazing. But I've got to record at the same time as well. So let's see how that actually works. For some reason, my thing is just not streaming. What is happening here? Tablet is just not picking up. Wi-Fi Infinity +1. Come on. I always have problems every now and then with the tablet where it doesn't like to stream. I have no idea why. Maybe try. Sorry team, technical difficulties today. It's just not going. How was everyone, by the way? How's the first 2 days of holidays been? What's happening here? Somehow it's not picking up the stream. I don't know why. Hey, awesome. Just having some technical difficulties, man. I don't know what's happening here. Like, my tablet is not streaming to my source, which is annoying. And I've restarted the tablet a couple of times as well. Try one more restart, and if it's not a go, then might have to try something else. And if that doesn't work, sorry guys, we might just have to can it, because it's a sign that's telling us not to do any work today. No, it's I have a setup where my laptop actually streams into, it creates a network stream, and it streams into my streaming software. So like my actual notes and everything is fine, like that's all fine. But then I have another screen that mirrors my tablet, and it's just not, it's not popping up. I don't know why, because it's connected, it's, everything is good from this end. Oh, something's not right. Open. No, I don't want to open that. Hey, Taj. Yep, something is not okay, because tablet is fine, no issue, but it's just not streaming to my software. Okay, I might just try restarting the streaming software here, guys. Give me a second. Stream is recording activity. You want to log out. All right, here we go. Yeah, we're back. Much better. Yep, we're back to normal. Just need a little kick restart. Okay, guys. So sorry it took a bit of a while to get started today. We might have time to do like one question here, but I want to actually give a massive shout out to Cohere Education Center, I think, because they made these exam papers a while back, and to be honest, they're like, I feel like they're like really good questions. So yeah, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can try and get this to work. Come on. Yep. So giving a bit of a credit to them, but we're gonna get started straight away with these questions. So I just need to set up, I'll screenshot the questions in here, so just bear with me, and then we'll actually go through each one of these questions. So our first question for the night is going to be this one here, and I'm hoping this is going to work. Let's see what it looks like. Probably just a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, so that is question 1. I'd like you folks to get started on the question 1, and then I'll just set up the other 3 questions very quickly. Okay, let's get started with this one. I need to record these things. Sorry, doing multiple things at the moment. Trying to stack the questions, trying to stream, trying to record. So let's go through this. All right, so with question 1a here, what we've got is 3 over 2 minus square root of 2. So all you really have to do is just go 3, 2 minus root 2, and we have to multiply by 2 plus root 2, which is going to rationalize the denominator. And then what we've got is you got to use FOIL at the denominator, and then in the numerator you've got to do 3 times 2 plus root 2. And that's divided by 2 times 2 is going to be 4. I'm going to ignore the inside term, which means I've got negative square root of 2 times positive square root of 2 is going to be negative 2. So what that means is, expanding the numerator, I've got 6 plus 3 root 2, and that's divided by 2, which is then equal to 6 over 2 plus 3 root 2 over 2. So we're going to get 3 plus 3 over 2 root 2. So you can write a little statement that a equals to 3 and b is equal to 3 over 2. Now this question is worth an achieved, and I don't think you need to write it as a and b separately. You can actually leave your answer like that and you're pretty much good to go with that one. All right, folks, I'm assuming that's okay. Hey, Lauren, welcome, and all the usual crowd, welcome. So let's go to the second question here. So you've got to write x in terms of p. Now, if you want to go ahead with logs, you can do it with logs. You can do it with kind of separating the 6's. Either way, give it a go and let's see what we come up with. I'll give you folks maybe like a couple of minutes for this, because this is still an achieved question. How you guys going with this one? Remember, this is an achieved question, so don't, if you are spending like 3 minutes on this, then it's probably not worth it. So this is the part where you kind of go, I'm going to actually have to move on. P log 6. Ooh, okay. Oh, yep, you did it that way. Yep, P log 6 log 3 would work. Negative P log 6 ln of 2 minus ln of 6. That also works. Both Lauren and Jake, Crow, both of your answers work. All right, so I'll go through it. So looking at this question, a couple of ways of you can do this. You can actually take logs for both sides straight away and then expand the brackets. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing this, I'll actually, yeah, I mean, like when I say the logs of both sides, you would actually end up with ln of 2 to the power of x equals ln of 6 x minus p. And then what you would do is you would bring the powers to the front. And when you do that, you're going to get x ln of 2 equals x minus p ln of 6. Then you expand the brackets. So you're going to get x times ln of x and then negative p times ln of x. So you're going to end up with x ln of x minus p ln of 6. Then I'm going to do x ln of 2 minus x ln of 6 equals negative p ln of 6. X is a common factor. Ln of 2 minus ln of 6 equals minus p ln of 6, and then x is equal to negative p ln of 6 over ln of 2 minus ln of 6. Now that's one way of doing this. The other way of doing this is you might have actually done something like this, where you have 2x is equal to 6x divided by 6p. Cross multiply, then you've got 6p is equal to 6x over 2 to the power of x. Then you can actually say 6 to the power of p equals, this will become 6 over 2 to the power of x. So we're going to get 6 to the power of p equals 3 to the power of x, and then ln of 6 to the power of p equals ln of 3 to the power of x. You can bring the x in front, which means you're going to get x ln of 3 is ln of 6 to the power of p, and then x is equal to ln of 6 to the power of p over ln of 3. So either way you do this, you can actually get away with achieved. But in all honesty, I feel that this question is quite a bit of work for an achieved. All right, let's try the next question, folks. Any questions with this one so far? Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, cool. All right, let's go to the next one here. Gotta love these types of questions. Are you talking about this question here, Jake Rowe? This is a merit question by the looks of it. Yeah, it is a merit question. I'm telling you, the Cohere papers are tough, but they're good tough. They really test you guys. Hey Aniket, how you doing? In choosing subject, I'm not sure how I can help Aniket. Now for this question, you might need a bit of support because it's like it's asking for finding how long it takes before 70% of the students have heard the rumor. Now remember, S is the number of students who've actually heard the rumor. So find out what 70% of 2,400 is first. That's what S is equal to. And then you got to try and figure out what T is equal to. So again, these are the types of questions where you go, okay, look, if I can try and get this question done in like a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, then that is your merit that's sorted right there. I'm going to give you guys another, I don't know, maybe another 16 seconds. No way. I'll give you another minute and then I'll go through it. Nice. Yep, that's the one I'm looking for, Blake. Nice job. Right, so with question 3, as I was kind of mentioning before, that you want to find out how long it takes before 70% of the students have heard the rumors. So I guess our first job is to find out what 70% of 2,400 is. So for that, I'm just going to go into the calculator and I'm going to go 0.7 times 24, and that's going to give me 16.8. Oh, sorry, 2,400. 0.7 times 2,400, 1,680. So I've got 1,680 is equal to 2,400 divided by 1 plus 1199 e negative 0.6t. So now it's just a matter of rearranging this. So I'm going to cross multiply and rewrite this as 1 plus 1199 e negative 0.6t equals 2,400 divided by 1680. So when I do 2,400, where is it, divided by 1680, I get this exceptionally ugly number, which is 1.42. What I might do is I might just leave it like that actually. Yeah, I'm not going to write that in there because I don't want to actually make a mistake with my rounding, so I'm going to leave it like that. So the next step is 1199 e to the power of negative 0.6t equals 2,400 1680 minus 1. Then I'm going to write down e to the power of negative 0.6t equals 2,400 over 1680 minus 1, and the whole thing divided by 1199. I might just try to see this if it actually works or not, because I know sometimes it might not actually work. So let's just try this. I'm going to go 2,400 as a fraction of 1680 minus 1. It's going to give me 3 over 7 divided by 1199. It's going to give me this, 3 over 8393. Okay, so that means I've got e to the power of negative 0.60 equals 3 over 8393. Then I'm going to take ln of both sides. Now when I take ln of e, that just becomes, they cancel out each other. And what I'm going to get is this right here. And then t is equal to ln of 3 over 8393 divided by negative 0.6. So we've got ln of the answer, which equals to that, divided by negative 0.6 equals 13.22. So t is equal to 13.22 minutes. Wow, that's insane. Like if you think about it, 13 minutes for the entire school to know a rumor about a teacher. That's got to be crazy. But anyway, look, grades wise, achieved is a value for e to the power of negative 0.6t. So that means we are looking at here to get an achieved, and then a merit is going to be right there. Let me know if you have any questions for this, people, and then we will see if you have any questions. I'll answer them. Otherwise, we can jump on to the next one. Daniel, I'm recording this paper as well as doing a stream, so you can send it, but I won't be able to answer it today because I want to at least finish some parts of this exam paper and release it. If we have time, I'd love to do the whole paper. Anaket, which one should I choose? Yeah, Anaket, I think J. Crow just answered your question right there. Tanushree, ln is just natural log with base e. So if you look at your calculator, so notice how there's a log and a ln. I don't think, like, if you are working with exponentials, you have to use ln because the e to the power of x and ln is kind of like they're paired up, you know, they got to use them together. Vishal, we can do one tomorrow. What do you want to do? Algebra or calculus? Since you're here, you can make a choice. All right, if we're done with this question, I'm ready to put the next question up. Just throw in a word next or move on the chat, and then we can move along. Next. Okay. Okay, so we'll do algebra tomorrow, Vishal. I've got a paper ready for you guys. It's a brutal, like, the achieves are really easy, but the excellences are really tough. It's another 2013 Cohere paper from the past, but good papers. See you tomorrow. What do you mean, J. Crow? I told you this. Cohere papers are... they are tough, man. They're good papers, but they're tough papers. They're not straightforward. I'll tell you this one. If you look at the next excellence question, you guys will be like... And I remember, like, one year I used Cohere papers for my calculus class, and they were crying because it was one of the hardest papers that they did. I think it was like the 2015-16 Cohere papers. They were mean. I don't think it's a rough paper. I think it's just the way they ask the questions, they really test you. Yeah, Tanushree, you can. But I need to double check who's got the rights for that paper, just so that I don't get in trouble. Look at Blake go. Blake's got 1 or quarter. Yeah, all right. I will start doing this question. I'm not sure which way you guys did it, but there's a couple of ways of doing this. And the one we'll use... Which one should we use? All right, so let's start using this one here. So with this question, what we've got is log 2 something minus log 2 something. Now remember that when you do log A minus log B, you can write this as log A over B. So that's pretty much what we're going to do here. We're going to write this as log 2, and we're going to have 8x over 1 plus root x is equal to 2. Now, because this is equal to a base 2 and the log is like that, now if you remember, one of your log rules state that this part here is the base, this is the power. Sorry, I'm going to use a different color here. This is the power, and then this is the final answer. So in other words, I can rewrite this as 2 to the power of 2 equals 8x over 1 plus root x, where this is the base, this is the power, and this is the final answer. So what I've got here then is 4 equals 8x plus 1 plus root x. Cross multiply this and you're going to get 4 1 plus root x is equal to 8x, and then we're going to expand the brackets. We're going to get 4 plus 4 root x is equal to 8x. Now, unfortunately, there is no other way of doing this, but you're going to hate me for this. But the way you do this is, let's get rid of the 4's first, because everything can be divided by 4. So that's 4, 4, and 4. What you get is 1 plus root x is equal to 2x. Now, we can actually rewrite this as 2x minus square root of x minus 1 is equal to 0. Once you do that, now this is where some of your level 2 skills come into play, because right now you're not actually able to solve this because you've got a square root of x in there. So, but what you can do is you can actually write the x as square root of x squared, like that. And when you do that, what you are essentially doing it is as ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Yep, that's you could also have done that as well. Like you could have actually, that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing this is you could have actually gone from here and did this as square root of x is equal to 2x minus 1, and then square both sides. So you got a couple of ways of doing this. So in this case, this will become x. In this case, it'll become 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. And if you rearrange it, you're going to get 0 is equal to 4x squared minus 5x plus 1. So either way you do it, you're going to end up with a quadratic. Now in this second case, the way I've done it, I'm just going to go into the, what do you call it, the graphics calculator, and I'm going to go into polynomial, yep, degree 2, and what I've got is 4 minus 5, 1, and when I do that, I actually get x is equal to 1 and 0.25. Now if I did it the other way, like this method here, then I would actually get square root of x, because I'm no longer using 4, 5, 1, but I'm actually using 2, minus 1, and minus 1. When I do that, I get square root of x is equal to 1, and square root of x is equal to negative 0.5, which means x is equal to 1, and x is equal to 1 over 4, or 0.25. Now, the issue with this particular question is you actually have to go back and substitute these two values to figure out which ones work and which ones don't work. So in this case, x equals to 1 would actually work, because when you do right here, you're going to get, what is it? What's it? 2 to the power of 0. Like, if you put log 2 of 8 and log 2 of 2, like, see what happens there, because if you substitute x as 1 here, and I'm going to take this equation here, so log 2 8 times 1 minus log 2 1 plus root 1, you're going to get log 2 of 8, which is equal to 3, minus log 2 of 2 is equal to 1. So 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So when x equals to 1, it works. But if x is equal to a quarter, you're going to get log 2 of 8 times a quarter minus log 2 of 1 plus square root of a quarter. And what you end up with is log 2 of 1 minus log 2 of 1 plus square root of quarter is 0.5, 1.5, and you're going to end up with 0 here, and then here you're going to end up with some other value, and so x is equal to a quarter doesn't actually work. So you have to check your answers, especially when you're working with logs. You have to go back and check your answers to see whether they work or not. So in this case, you're only going to get one answer, which is x is equal to 1. And that's going to give you a merit for this. So x is not equal to 0.25. As for the achieved correct expression with logs removed, so here is where you're getting your achieved grade. All right, guys, sorry, I kind of, when I was recording, I just kind of looked at the questions. See you later, Tanushree. When is the next level 2? That's tomorrow. Okay, we got 4x cubed. Oh, wow, we got 4x cubed. That's a lot right there. Hex, the level 2 algebra is 1 tomorrow, mate. Questions, people, on this? What was your way, J. Crow? Oh, did you rationalize the denominator? Okay, let's try that. So you would have had 4 is equal to 8x over 1 plus root x times 1 minus root x, 1 minus root x. 4 is equal to 8x minus 8x to the power of 3 over 2 divided by 1 minus x. Then you cross multiply, which means you're going to end up with 4 times 1 minus x equals 8x minus 8x to the power of 3 over 2. 4 minus 4x is equal to 8x minus 8x 3 over 2. And you're going to have the same, you're going to have an issue, mate, because you're going to have 4 is equal to 12x. So you're going to have that x to the power of 3 over 2. So then you would actually have to cube things, and it's actually quite a ugly looking equation, to be honest. Yeah, the rationalizing one is going to give you like a... Okay, even if you simplify, you're going to get something like 1 is equal to 3x minus 2x to the power of 3 over 2. Yeah, but it's still going to give you an ugly one, because if you rearrange this, you're going to get 2x to the power of 3 over 2 equals 3x minus 1. Now it's not 8, it's got to be 2, mate. Oh, okay, so you did... Huh? Jacro, you should have got 1 equals 3x minus 2x to the power of 3 over 2. I don't know how you got 8. Yes, Shadow, there is. Yeah, okay, I got up to there. And then, oh, actually, maybe it's not too bad. If you square this, yeah, see, I wouldn't have taken the 3x. I would have left it like this. And then I would have gone, 2 to the power of 2 is 4 x cubed. Yeah, you're going to end up with like a cubic, which is something you don't really want. 3x minus 1 squared is going to become 9x squared minus 6x plus 1. And then 0.25. Yeah, but if it's a repeated solution, okay, so let's say if we do 3, we're going to do minus 4, 9, 6, and 1. Oh, wait, what have I done here? Minus 4, 9, negative 6. Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's still giving you the same answer. It's giving you x equals to 1 and x, the second x value is 0.25. But you still have to put them back into the original equation to see if they work or not. Yes, you can still do it this way, because I think as long as you've got the, because when you're solving a quadratic or a cubic, I don't think they're expecting you to show the working. So you can potentially do it this way and still get the answers. But like I said, unless you have to eliminate the 0.25 to get the full mark for this particular question. Shadow, it is a paper that was donated by Cohere Education Center. So just doing through their exam papers. Now their exam papers are, I'm not going to lie, they're tough. They really test you and they really make you think, which is good. We're ready to move on? I'm still collecting them, Daniel. It's going to take me a while to collect them. When I sort it, I might, I might send you a message, eh? Just send me an email. All right, now the next question is not for the faint of hearted, okay? Because I remember trying this question back a while ago, and I felt that I still struggle to kind of try and explain this question, but I'm gonna put it up here, and let's try this out. I thought you would say that, J. Crow, because I looked at this question the first time and I went, what is happening here? All right, so what we'll do is like this. Absolutely, Daniel. But the funny thing is, like, this question actually came up in the Conics Delta. The Conics Delta book actually has this exact same question. And yeah, all right, anyway, so this is going to be A here, and this is going to be B. And we can put the aircraft C like that. What I might do is I might just try and explain this through, and then I will set this up for you guys. Then maybe you can do it, because I think once you set up the equation, it's fairly easy. All right, I'll record this and then I'll pause halfway through. So yeah, so this question, like I said before, it's like I saw this in, I think, one of the Conics Delta books, but we're gonna put a couple of points here. We're gonna put this as A, and we're gonna put this as B. And what we're going to do is we're gonna put this point here as 50, 0. Then this point here is going to be negative 50 and 0. So think about it like, you know, the 50 between negative 50 and 50, it's the 100 kilometers apart. Now it says that the aircraft C flies so that it's always 40 kilometers closer to A than to B. Now if you think about this aircraft here as C, we can put this distance as dB, which is from here to here, and then dA, which is going to be from here to here. Now as for the aircraft itself, we don't know what the x and y coordinate is. We're going to leave it as just x and y. Now the only thing that it says is that the aircraft is actually 40 kilometers closer to A than to B. And I guess this is the part where you have to write this little equation. So the distance between A plus 40 kilometers is going to be the distance, the dB. Let me just rethink how I'm going to explain that. So I think this is the part that I personally struggled in, because I was like, when it says like, so that it's always 40 kilometers closer to A than to B, I was like, how do you write this up as an equation? It is an ellipse loci. But the thing is, they are actually using a distance formula to solve this. Do you guys actually understand what's happened with the dA plus 40 equals to dB? Or yeah, something similar like that. Daniel, something similar like that, but I think it's more like, I always felt the part that I struggled with this one was when it says 40 kilometers closer to A than B. Because if something is 40 kilometers closer to A than B, it's not the differences. Yeah, toughly worded question after all. But I think this is the toughest part, right? So that it's, because once this part is clear, then the rest of it just becomes quite straightforward after that. dA is always 40 kilometers. dA is always 40 kilometers less than dB. It's just the worded one. So dA is 40 kilometers less than dB. Yeah, well, that's what it is, because I think, yeah, you're right. If I read that as dA is always 40 kilometers less than dB, then this would still make sense, because dA is equal to dB minus 40. Cool. Now, once we've kind of settled with that, now this, as I said before, like this was the part that I was kind of like iffy about. But the actual part about dA is you already have that. You already have dA and you already have dB, because what you have created here is just a right angle triangle, and you're finding distance between 2 points. Put those distance between 2 points to figure out the green part and the yellow part, and then rearrange, and then you should end up with an equation with x and y on it. Yeah, thanks Jake Rowe. So folks, what you need to do is remember that for dA and dB, you need to use the distance formula with x and y. So, and I'll put I don't know if you get the distance formula in the formula sheet. I'm trying to remember. Distance between 2 points is not given to you in the formula sheet, so you have to remember that. So just to recap, the distance between 2 points formula is square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So that's just, I mean, if you forget that, just remember that it's just finding the hypotenuse in Pythagoras. So it's like square root of the height, the a, well, in this case, if that's a, well, I shouldn't use a, maybe, I don't know, p, q, and r. So just using hypotenuse rules and you're pretty much, not hypotenuse, Pythagoras, and then you should be good to go. Ben, I'll be doing some more tutorials, but I'll take some time to make some questions up. It's going to take me a little bit longer. Yeah, Elijah, it is. It's, you know, it still works with that same kind of idea, but I think the way this particular question they did was, I don't know why they chose to go with the distance formula. They should have stuck with the modulus, but I think they were trying to contextualize the question with the locus. And when they try to contextualize it, they, you know, you can't really work with the imaginary planes. You've got to work with a real value. I might give you guys another 1 more minute and then I'll go through it, unless you're kind of working away on it. All right, guys, let me know if I can start going through the answer. I know this was a tough question. Okay. Sorry, Daniel. We'll get going. All right, so what we've got is we've got to work out what dA is first. Now, if you look at dA, we've got the 2 points, 50, 0, and xy. So for dA, what I'm going to do is square root. So this is for dA right now. So I'm going to put this as x1, y1. And x2, y2. And I don't think it matters which way you do it. So then I'm going to get x minus 50 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals, then I'm going to do for dB, which is square root of, I'm going to do this as x1 and y1. So I'm going to get x minus negative 50 squared plus y minus 0 squared minus 40. So this is pretty much my equation that I have. And then I've just got to do square root of x minus 50 squared plus y squared equals square root of x plus 50 squared plus y squared minus 40. So at this point, all I've got to do is I've got to actually expand the craziness out of it. It's going to be a very ugly equation. I don't think you get x equals to 0.2. You've got to get an equation of x and y. But it's going to take me a while, but be patient, all right? So I'm going to have to try and do this very carefully. Okay, so once we get this, our next step is we've got to get rid of the square root symbols. So to get rid of the square root symbols, I've got to square this and I've got to square this. Now, squaring the left-hand side, it's pretty simple. The square root just disappears. And I'm going to end up with x minus 50 squared plus y squared. Now, unfortunately, I can't square the left-hand side because it's got a term inside of it. I have to do it like this: square root of x plus 50 squared plus y squared minus 40 times square root of x plus 50 squared plus y squared minus 40. So at this point, I've got to do the first, then the outsides, insides, and the lasts. So here I'm going to get x minus 50 squared plus y squared equals, so square root times square root, I'm going to get x plus 50 squared plus y squared. Then I'm going to get minus 40 and minus 40, which makes it minus 80 square root of x plus 50 squared plus y squared plus 1600. So basically that's doing the quadratic, expanding the quadratic. So now what I can do is I can start seeing, are there things that I can get rid of? So I can get rid of the y squareds straight away and expand this bracket. I'm going to get x squared minus 100x plus 2500 equals x squared plus 100x plus 2500 minus 80, and I'm still going to have this thing here, which is x plus 50 squared plus y squared plus 1600. Once again, I can see what are the things I can get rid of. Get rid of the x squared, get rid of the 2500, and what I'm left over with is just, I'm going to bring this, so I've got negative 100x equals 100x minus 80 square root of x plus 50 squared plus y squared plus 1600. Rearranging this so that I want to have the square root by itself. So negative 100x minus 100x minus 1600 equals minus 80 x plus 50 squared plus y squared. Now I'm hoping I've not made a mistake here, because that would just be super annoying, and I can't see if I have or not. But anyway, let's just keep going. Hopefully this works out. So then I've got minus 200x minus 1600
divided by negative 80 equals square root of x plus 50 squared
plus y squared. Now, what am I getting? 25x squared. Okay, this is
looking promising, but let's just see what happens.
So negative 200 divided by negative 80. I'm going to do that in the calculator. Menu 1. This is a super annoying question. Negative 200 divided by negative 80.
So that's 2.5x.
Minus 1600 divided by 80
is 20 equals square root of x plus 50 squared plus y squared.
25 over 4 is 6.25. Okay, now this is
looking good so far. I'm going to come back to this side. So now I've got to square both sides again. So I've got to square this side and square this side. I'm going to get 2.5x minus 20 times 2.5x minus 20, and that's equal to, the square root disappears, which means I'm going to get x plus 50 squared plus y squared. Now here, I'm going to get 6.25x squared. 2.5 times 20 is, I'm struggling, 50. Okay, I want to make sure I do this right because I don't want to stuff up here. So 2.5 times negative 20 is negative 50. So it's going to become negative 100x plus 400 equals x plus 50 squared plus y squared. Nearly there, folks, nearly there. So then I've got 6.25x squared minus 100x plus 400 equals, expand the brackets here. So I've got x squared plus 100x plus 2,500 plus y squared. Bring everything to this side. So I'm going to get 0 equals, oh, actually no, let's bring everything to this side here. So 6.25, I'm going to do minus x squared minus 100x minus 100x minus 2,500 minus 2,500. So I'm going to get 5.25x squared minus 200x minus 2,100 equals y squared. Last but not least, I just want to make sure that that thing there is not 5.25. So what could I do? Multiply everything by 4. So I'm going to multiply everything by 4. So 4 times 5.25 is 21x squared minus 800x minus 8,400 equals 4y squared. And so when I get my equation, I'm going to get 21x squared minus 4y squared I've made a mistake somewhere. I'm going to pause for a second. Let me just figure out where my mistake is. The 100x cancelled. (2.5x plus 20). Oh, yep. I see where my mistake is. Super annoying, but thank you. I found the mistake, which was here. That should be plus 20, not minus 20. That's plus, that's plus, that's plus, that's plus. Then this will become 0. There we go. Minus 8,400. So that's pretty much what our final answer ends up being. Now, surprisingly, this question, like, you know, there's no achieved marks for it. There's just the excellence. And then for the merit, correct equation for DA. You get a merit up here just for getting this part here. Super long question. All good, Sam. You're welcome. Yeah, like I think it literally took me, I think when did I start recording? At 18 minutes. So it's taken me 11 minutes to kind of go through it and explain it. But there's so many possibilities for you to make mistakes. But I feel it's a tough question, but it's a good tough question because, you know, in the end, I think the hard part was actually coming up with the equation. And once you come up with the equation, it's just a lot of work. Any questions with that, folks? Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, I saw your comment quite late. That's my bad. I should have picked it up earlier. All right, folks, that's basically question 1 there. Long excellence question. You can divide everything by not 21 and 4, but I think divide everything by 84. So you would end up with something like this. So you end up with x squared over 4 minus y squared over 21 equals 100. Guys, I've got another 2 more questions to go with this, but I don't think we're gonna go through it today. I might save it for another time sometime. Otherwise, I'll just record the video and just upload it. One more whole question, or actually wait, let me just show you this. That's not gonna help. Now actually guys, I'm gonna call it because of like that question took a lot out trying to explain it. But I think we're gonna set up for a bit more easier ones coming up, because I think the next lot of questions is, let me just find it, PDF of 91577 Edge. Here we go. Oh, Daniel, you don't have to do that, mate. Thank you, but you don't have to. All right, so this is the next lot of questions that we've got. So this was question 1E. Then question 2A is going to be like this.
we've got your normal, UV cubed, fairly straightforward, remainder 1, but it's being divided by x minus I. And then you've got complex roots question. And then we have find the value of k if p is a real number. And then an excellence question like this, where this is your equation, simplify and give your answers in a plus ib, where this is real numbers. And then your last excellence question for question 3, so you get a couple of Argand diagrams. Here we go. This is the last part of question E, the excellence question. So maybe next time we can just focus on those 2 excellence questions. If you guys want to just take a screenshot of this, take a screenshot of, I'll leave this up. I mean, once the stream ends, you guys can just come and have a look at it. Have a look at this question, and then have a look at the other excellence question, which is this one. And maybe we can do them the next time we come back for complex numbers, as long as someone reminds me to do it. Awesome, guys. Look, thank you again for joining on this late Sunday night. Didn't expect to go till 9:30. I actually thought the ridiculous thing of finishing the paper in 1.5 hours, but clearly Cohere takes a little bit longer to explain than your normal NZQ8 questions. So have a good night, and something's just happened. No, what happened here? My camera has gone all bungy. Is there a delay with the camera? Oh well, if it's not, it is. Sorry. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time, alright? Take care. Huh. Ooh, it is gone funny. My whole camera has gone funny. It's alright. Catch you guys next time, yeah? I'm sure we can fix it up later. It's pretty much every night. I'm gonna try and add a few more details in, but looks like I need to fix my camera first. Something's up with it. Catch you guys, alright?